Many legends surround the frozen hellhole of post-war Seattle. None of those foolish enough to enter the ruined city ever return. The superstitious claim that the city is occupied by demons, manifested from the horrors of the old world. And they are not that far from the truth. The Washington Brotherhood was once a unit of the Midwestern chapter of the Brotherhood of Steel, led by General Andrew Constantine and Sentinel Juan Rodriguez. Once a lonely initiate at Bunker Delta, Constantine would eventually reach the rank of Knight Commander, where he would be charged with the defense of a small border outpost from being overrun by a large mutant army. Due to the radiation in the area, Constantine would start the process of ghoulification and began to become fused with his armor, permanently sealing him inside it. As a reward for his heroic actions, he was awarded with the rank of Sentinel, much to the dismay of the rest of the chapter. After several years of continued service, he was promoted to General and given command of a sizable contingent of Brotherhood soldiers. During this time, he learned of a large number of pre-war military bunkers in the Seattle area. At some point during his career, it was discovered by the rest of the chapter that both Constantine and his men were using torture and mass murder to complete their missions. He was brought before a judicial council and tried for war crimes. He was found guilty, and both he and his men were exiled. But the rest of the chapter hoped that he would eventually starve to death. Unfortunately for them, this would not be the case. Constantine changed his name to the Immortal to better reflect his eternal nature. The Immortal began to lead his men northwest, where the ruins of post-war Seattle were located. Though he would lose some member during this harsh exodus, the Immortal ordered his men to enslave all wastelanders they came across, to ensure that the force had a steady stream of bodies to take care of menial labor in the camp. The most capable of these wastelander slaves were trained by the Immortal's second-in-command, Sentinel Juan Rodriguez, to become Black Paladins. A mockery of the Brotherhood Paladins, the Black Paladins were cruel and merciless to all whom they encountered. The arrivals of the exiles in post-war Seattle, now named the White Sprawls due to the massive, unending blizzards that rage over the city, the Immortal began his search for the huge bunker complex located somewhere within the city. Eventually he would find it and moved his entire force into the complex, renaming it Capitol Hill. Soon after, the Immortal would proclaim the formation of a new chapter of the Brotherhood of Steel, the Washington Brotherhood. No longer restrained by petty ideals of morality and mercy, the Immortal would begin using the sizable biological and psychological science facilities located within the Capitol Hill bunker complex to experiment with new ways to break the human mind. Soon after the formation of the Washington Brotherhood, Elder Immortal would order the extermination of the primitive nation of Issaquah, enslaving all those who survived the Brotherhood's onslaught, conscripting some of their numbers into the now infamous Black Paladins, whose indoctrination had been perfected with the aid of the Capitol Hill facilities. Soon after the extermination of the tribes surrounding Capitol Hill, the Immortal set his eyes on the Olympus tribe and the Yakama nation. After months of bloody conquest, the Brotherhood came out victorious. At some point, the Washington Brotherhood would form an alliance with both the pirates of Portmore and the ghouls of the old country. eventually annexing them both and incorporating them into the new Brotherhood chapter. The Immortal knew that for his new chapter to have any future, they would need to acquire more advanced technology, far above that which they could produce by themselves. Luckily for him and his chapter, the old warfront of Alaska was not far from the fledgling empire that he had carved out for himself. The Immortal gathered the force of his most steadfast and elite forces and set out to find any pre-war facilities that could aid his future conquests. The Immortal himself led the expedition, and after weeks of traversing the frozen mountains, they arrived in the lands of Alaska. Here they would find something, anything to help them exterminate all their enemies. And there we are. You've now learned everything there is to know, mostly, about the Brotherhood of Steel. Don't forget to check out the amazing Old World Blues mod for Hearts of Iron 4. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, favorite, all that fucking shit. Yeah, hopefully I'm gonna get back to making more videos like this one in the near future. So stay tuned for that. Anyway, I will see you next time. Bye bye.